on me with her dad and her twin brothers. Okay, before we hop into the whole story, I'm gonna give y'all a little background. So, we're both the same age, and at the time that we started dating, we were both 17. So, I was 17, she was 17, but she's a couple months older than me. So, we met in school, and we were really close friends before we ever started dating. So, I know we didn't start dating until our junior year, but we started talking like at the end of my sophomore year. So, we were getting like closer and closer and closer. So, the more like closer we got, the more she started opening up about like her past, her family, like what she do in her free time, all stuff like that. So when we were friends, she didn't really open up about like what been going on in her family and stuff. It took us to start dating until she started telling. So she comes to tell me that her mom and her dad was separated. They were married, but then they got separated. Both of them still live in the same city, the city that we lived in, but they live in different places. So her mama lived in a house and her daddy lived in an apartment. So she said that they had been separated since she was about like 10, but like they was still cool, like they kept contact or whatever. But the reason why they had separated was because the daddy cheated on the mama and got the bitch that he cheated on. So the daddy got the woman pregnant, then the daddy and the woman moved in together. Y'all already know how that shit go, blah, 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 evil stepmother, shit like that. So now she has an evil stepmother and she got 3 other siblings. It's the 2 boys and then the sibling that's going to be on the way from the stepmom. So me and her mom had a closer relationship because, first of all, she lived with her mom, so she was there 24/7. Always talk about the daddy, how abusive he was, how much of a cheater he was, and how he just genuinely didn't have respect for their relationship because he didn't take time to spend time with them. So I'm thinking that they hated him, like he was the worst person in the world. So she wouldn't really even see the daddy that much. She would see him like 4 times in a month, 4 to 5 times in a month. So fast forward 4 months into our relationship, she started talking more to her father and getting closer with him. She was not really close with her daddy or whatever. So once they started talking after 4 months of us being together, it kind of like made me like question, like, was everything he was telling me true? Because it just seemed to me yesterday you and your mama was talking about how much y'all hated him and how much y'all didn't like him because of the level of respect he had for you, but now y'all on the phone every night. But you know, then again, I ain't questioning it because at the same time, that's her parent, and you know, you only live once, and sometimes you just want to get close to that parent no matter what they have done to you, because at the end of the day, that's your blood, that's your parent. So I didn't start questioning anything because I'm just like, okay, that's her daddy. They just want to be cool. Until fast forward like 6 months into the relationship, she started sleeping over his house more. And me, I'm thinking in my head, you barely know these people. And it took you 2 months to get to know him a little bit for you to start sleeping over his house like you is. And I'm not just saying 4 days out of the month, went to 6 days out of the month. No, it went to like 10, 15 days out of the month she was sleeping over there. So me, I'm getting a little suspicious because you don't know these people. That's really my biggest thing. So eventually she bring me over there to meet her daddy or whatever, and I meet the whole family. I meet him, both of her brothers, and the stepmama that's pregnant. They all seem cool or whatever, but her daddy was giving me weird vibes. The vibes that he like little kid vibes, like he have them wondering eyes. So I told her, I'm just like, girl, you was right about your daddy. He is a little weird. And for the first time, she started getting so defensive, like, girl, don't talk about my daddy, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. I'm just like, oh, okay. So after she did all that, I ain't talking about him no more. I didn't even want to go over there because I felt uncomfortable. But let's fast forward to when things started getting a little freaky. So one day I was at her mama's house and we was chilling on her bed or whatever. We was both on our phones watching TikTok. So her mama come in the door and she gives her like this little bag or whatever. So she opened the bag and she look in and she look at me and she just tossed the bag to the side. So me, I'm nosy as hell. I'm like, what's in that bag? She like, girl, just some condoms that I got in health class. So me, I'm curious. I still want to see. So I'm like, okay, let me see one of them condoms. So she give it to me. First of all, the condom is this big. So I opened the condom. Why the condom this long? I'm like, I just got one of those bags the other week. The condoms did not look like that. They was that small and this long. So I'm like, ain't no way that they give you them condoms. What they give you them for? She's talking about, well, you just got the same condoms last week. Why you asking me all these questions? So I ignored her and I threw it to the back of my head because, ho, you sneaky. Okay, so after I found the condoms, I just let it go and I ain't think about it no more. So when we got back to school, I was kind of noticing that she was getting closer to one of the friends that we used to be friends with before we had got together. But remember, I told y'all we didn't really talk to those people no more. So I was kind of getting like suspicious. So my suspicions led me all the way to that phone. And while I was looking through it, I seen that the most recent message was from the friend that we used to be friends with. Her name is Kay. So off the bat, I could tell that they was talking about some weird shit. So the first thing that I see is my girlfriend sending a positive pregnancy test to Kay. And then Kay turns around and says, oh my God, who's the daddy? Who's the daddy? So I start laughing like I'm thinking it's fake. Until I scroll up. And she responds with, girl, I don't know, but this not right. I got to get rid of it. So I'm just sitting there like, this cannot be true. Like, not my girlfriend. So I'm just scrolling up in the messages because I'm like, they had to mention who the baby daddy could possibly be because I know it's not just no random. So I'm thinking if it's like somebody from our school, somebody that she met a while ago. Because at this point, I'm like, who is this girl? So I scroll up some more, like I'm scrolling deep, y'all, because I'm trying to see every single message and I'm like fast glancing it like. And I come up onto one message, Kay say, she said, girl, we too young for a train, you bold. A train? So then my girlfriend say, girl, that was 2 Mondays ago, let it go. So I'm like, but 2 Mondays ago, you was at your daddy house all day. After that, y'all, I put it down. I didn't want to see no more. I just waited till the next day because school was the next day. That was a Thursday, and school was going on Friday. And I confronted Kay. I'm just like, so you knew this, then, the third was going on, and you ain't tell me?
Hey cousins, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like and comment, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Make sure your notification bell is on so you're notified every single time I post. As you can see from the clip, we are going to get into something that's a very, very devious. It's a little nasty if you ask me. But I had to stop it where I stopped it because I don't understand. If she said that she and the girl were not friends anymore, why did you expect the girl to come and tell you anything? She really didn't have no loyalty to you because you guys are no longer friends. But the girlfriend is disgusting. Sleeping with anybody in your family is disgusting. Underage children is disgusting. And the fact that this happens so often in different communities, I'm not even going to say in a black community, in the Caucasian, it happens often, unfortunately, where incest is just becoming so normal that people love to hide it instead of doing something about it. And the fact that these children were not protected from their sibling and their father, because he is also a predator as well, is sick. And I honestly feel bad. If this story is true, I feel bad for the twins because they really don't have no say so, especially she said one of them has a mental disability and he really doesn't have, you're not consenting when you're a child with an adult. Like this is just sad that we even have to hear stories like this. Unpack your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about the situation? What would you do if this was your girlfriend or boyfriend or your friend? And would you just still go to the police anyway, even though the family said they don't want to get the police involved? Would you just go to the police? How do you feel about this whole situation? Let me know. Bye.
Cause I felt so betrayed. Cause I'm like, we was all friends, like we was cool, and I'm thinking that you cool with me, but you know, it's some shit going on behind my back, and you didn't tell me. That shit is weird. You a weirdo. So I'm just like, girl, you might as well tell me the rest because I'm gonna find out on my own anyway. Y'all, she started telling me everything. So she said the first time my ex-girlfriend started doing it was a year into our relationship. And that's kind of weird because remember I told y'all I was noticing that she was going over there more, but she started sleeping over there more too. So my first initial thought was maybe she just meeting somebody over there, like somebody coming to her daddy house, because when she be at her mama house, I be over there. So I cut Kay off and I'm like, well, who is this person that she's sleeping with? Is this somebody in the school? Like, who is this person? Do I know them? She like, yeah, you know them. She like, yeah, you know them. So I'm like, is it one of our friends? So I'm trying to get her to tell me who it was because I'm like, is it somebody that's our friend and whatever? She not saying nothing. Like her voice just started getting real little and she started looking around and I'm just like, what are you getting nervous for? Like, what are you trying to tell me? So Kay said she hasn't been messing around with just one dude. She's been messing around with three. And you know all three. So I'm like, how do I know them? Like, let me know. Just please let me know. Let me know now. Like, I'm getting irritated and I just want to know. And she says because all three of them are related.
Oh my God! Wow!
So after she told me that I knew all three of them because all three of them were related, I knew exactly who she was talking about. I knew all three. When I tell y'all I was so sick to my stomach. Imagine you having a girlfriend and you think that y'all locked in, but whole time she's sleeping with three of her family members. Not one, but three. So after that, I just started asking a whole bunch of questions because I'm trying to get as much information as possible because I need to see if this shit is really true. The first thing I asked is, how long have they been doing this? And she tells me they've been doing it for like over 2 years now. So I get mad because I'm like, you've been knowing they've been doing this shit for 2 years and you didn't tell me and we were supposed to be friends? Are you fucking serious? Then she started making all these sap ass excuses, but I didn't want to hear shit. I just wanted to ask more questions. So the second thing I asked her was, did the stepmama know this shit? Because I could always peep that the stepmama ain't really like me. So I asked her, did she know? She's talking about, yeah, but she ain't know about the daddy. She only knew about the two brothers. You're okay with having an 18-year-old sleep with your 13-year-old sons, but not even that, y'all half related. So then the last thing I asked her is, how long have her and the daddy been doing it? Because I really need to know that. So she said they had only been doing it for about 6 months. But right after she told me that, my girlfriend had started walking up. And I'm looking at her like, and Kay looking at her like, and before I could even say anything, she already knew what was up. So her and Kay started fighting, baby and all. So when they finally got pulled apart, they were arguing back and forth, and Kayla was calling her a pedophile, a brother fucker, a daddy fucker. And then my girlfriend turns around and say, but you fucked your daddy too. So you telling me whole time y'all was bonding over fucking y'all daddy? Like, what type of shit is that? And I just started bursting out laughing, and I had to walk away. So after I left and walked away, I took a couple hours to, piece everything together, and everything started making sense. The first thing that started making sense was what I told y'all, how she was going over her daddy's house more often, and that shit was weird. And then the other thing was we was barely even freaking. And her ass is a freak, so I was like, But nevertheless, I called up her mother, and I told her everything. And I screenshotted and sent her receipts, too, because Kay was texting me shit, too. So after I called her mother and I told her everything, like, while I was talking to her mother was not saying nothing. Like, she was just so shocked. And I low-key felt bad because I'm like, dang, this her daughter, and her daughter is doing all of this stuff. Like, her daughter is real-life trifling. So I'm telling her mama everything. And after I'm done, I'm just like, we have to go to the police. We got to tell somebody. Because, first of all, them boys are 13. One has a mental illness. That's illegal, and that's assault. Then, incest is illegal. You're not supposed to be sleeping with your father. Then, you pregnant by one of the boys. But it seemed like as soon as I told the mama we need to go to the police, the whole attitude changed. Like, she wasn't sad. She wasn't, she wasn't quiet no more. She all of a sudden was like, no, I handle it. I got it. I'm just like, how are you going to handle it? She's like, I'm just going to talk to her, and we're just going to piece this together. We're going to handle this behind closed doors. It's not really behind closed doors anymore if the whole school know now. So the mama just like, okay, I'm going to talk to my daughter about it, and I'll get back to you. So I'm like, okay, like, we just hung up the phone, and we just did not talk the rest of that day. So, like, 2 days go by, and I get a call from the mama. So as soon as she answered the phone, I kid y'all not, my ex-girlfriend started cursing my ass out. What the fuck is you cursing at me for? Like, she telling me I just did too much, that Kay always lying, that she ain't never did none of the stuff that Kay said. Bitch, who are you fooling? You're fucking lying, hoe. So at this point, I don't give a fuck about what the fuck she's saying. I'm not listening to her. So I'm just like, you know what? Me and your mama go figure this out when we go to the police. Here go to mama. Zanaria, I'm not going to no fucking police. I told you I was going to handle this shit behind closed doors. I'm not no fucking snitch. Bitch, you're just as weird. Can't nothing about this situation be handled behind closed doors now. This is too serious. So then the mama started threatening me, talking about if I go to the police, she's going to have something happen to me because we don't fuck with no snitches. Your daughter is freaking your ex-husband. Your ex-husband's sons. And then she's pregnant. And you think it's okay? But we're just going to handle it behind closed doors, right? So after that, I just hang up the phone. I'm like, I do not got time for this shit, bitch. You're not going to send nobody on me. We need to be sending people on y'all nasty asses. So yeah, I really hope that they be seeing these videos because Kay saw these videos and she be calling and texting me. And I have not been answering because, what do you need to talk about, you nasty daddy fucker? But I'm not going to lay y'all. When she call me again, I'm going to try to videotape it so I can let y'all hear the shit. I got y'all.